as the AGM season is here, I think next Wednesday I'm attending the Keppel DC AGM. It's really my first time meeting the management in person, so I really want to maximize the time. In fact, by going to AGMs, right, I can clarify my assumptions. So the very initial reason of buying Keppel DC was really for two reasons. One is the growth, and two, it is the dividend growth, right? As the current climate in 2023, because I recorded this video in 2023, there's the higher interest rates that the Fed has set, right? So how is it going to impact my initial reasons of buying Keppel DC, which is the growth and the dividend? So to prepare myself for the AGM, I went through the annual report. My original question was, how do each type of data center get its clients? If you scroll to the annex, in all its results reporting, you will see that there are three types of data centers. One is the colocation, one is fully fitted, one is a shell and core. My understanding of the fully fitted and shell and core, it's really customer centric, meaning that in that center there's only one or two. Question would be, if the margins for fully fitted and shell and core is higher than colocation, how I want to understand how my REIT managers get such business deals, right? Because don't forget, if I can increase the revenue, I can increase the dividend, right? I can get back as a shareholder. How do they get their clients? Is it because the client doesn't have operating competencies, but the client has an intention to set up a data center? That's why they transfer, or they get Keppel DC to come in, provide operational competencies. Okay, so that's the first thing for these two types. But more is the co-location part, right? Because my understanding of co-location data centers, depending on if you scroll to the annex, I think there's a variety of co-location data centers having how many different tenants. How do they get, right? So that is the original question that I'd like to find out from the management. And of course, reading through the annual report, are there different types of business risks? And in fact, I won't term the next thing as a business risk, but I view it as like a cap on how much data centers can grow. There is environmental stewardship. Yes, environmental stewardship, which is probably going to put a cap on the possible growth rate. So down here, I wanted to put a picture of the presence of where Keppel DC REIT has located its data centers. There is the Europe side, there is the Asia side. So on the Europe side, the annual report has written that there is an energy crunch, right? So when there's an energy crunch, the governments in those various locations or in the European nations has considered new data center applications, right, more strictly, right, because they don't want to face an energy crunch. With that will mean that, hey, maybe the only way for Keppel DC to grow is to either buy existing data centers. If there is no new supply of data centers, it means that the value of existing data centers may increase. So would my REIT manager be able to buy the existing data centers at fair value? So that is one question. And even coming back to Asia, even for Singapore, even after it lifted its moratorium on new data centers, right, there are more stringent energy requirements. So the annual report has also written that the value of existing data centers will increase by 15-20%. That's what I remember I read from the annual report. With all this on a global scale, which is Europe facing energy crunch, maybe the biggest is environmental stewardship. The whole globe is thinking about that. At the Europe side, energy crunch. On the Singapore side, environmental stringent requirements. How is my manager going to expand its AUM? So these will be the two questions that I'd like to ask my management on this coming Wednesday. See how they'll respond, because it really matters to me. If you're not attending the AGM but you'd like to ask questions, just drop them in the comments below such that I can ask on your behalf. And if you want to know their paraphrase responses, you can subscribe to the channel, and I'll be documenting so that I know how my management is moving forward, because all businesses are run by people. That's why I also want to take the chance to go and meet the management in person, because for the past 2 years it's always been online, right? So really look forward to meeting them this coming Wednesday. And I also want to appreciate you for taking your time to view this video. List your one biggest takeaway in the comments. I'll be reading them, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Shine.